Hello everyone. It's the third week of May, so let's hop into today's garden tour. Stay tuned. All right everyone, bear with me because the sun is shining bright. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I know, I'm crazy, but this is when it's the most peaceful for me. Birds are chirping, so let's hop to it. So first, I did want to say, I initially had, let me go this way because the sun is really bright. So I initially had, that purple green stalk right there. And I decided, I like the look of this row here going this way, because if I add another one, it would probably really definitely go here and then the two here, because I know I'm going to buy more. So I decided to do this the same way. So what I'm going to ultimately do, so the yellow was right there kind of next to the pink one, I put it behind it and then put the purple one behind it. So I'll make room for another one here. I do know I'm going to get that, it's a blue one from Epic Gardening that I keep saying I'm going to go get and I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm going to go and order that one, and that's going to go right where that other blackberry is over there. And then that blackberry one will ultimately move probably over here. And then that way I'll have those here. And then in case I want another one, it'll kind of be that space. But I did change the layout a little bit over here so that everything can get adequate sun. And I just like the way it looks. So going over here to the peppercorn, my strawberry runners are, some of the runners are taking place in here, are taking root in here. Some of them are not. So nonetheless, the original strawberry plant itself is doing okay, but some of the runners did not do okay over here. They did better over here than they did here. So if not, I'm not worried about it because it's producing more and more runners. And the same thing with this one over here and the one in my greenhouse. So if need be, I will take the runners from other locations and move them here. Now, I do think I might get some of the strawberry little cups from Greenstock. Not sure yet. Because I did not really want to have to utilize them if I didn't need them, but I might if they don't continue to take the way they should. But the original plants are doing fine. So all of these plants are doing fine. As a matter of fact, my husband came out here and took a strawberry off of here yesterday. So they are doing okay. So that much I will say, and they are pretty sweet. But I am, for the sake of today, just rotating as well. Because the sun shifts, of course. So we just want, the sun is in the back, so we're just letting those in the back, and then as the day progresses, it will go to the front. Onions. Couldn't be happier with their results either. Everybody here is doing really well. So I like the growth on these. Like I was saying before, some of the lower tiers are struggling. We fertilize, we rotate, we water regularly. These get watered all the time. Like the soil, as you can see, is super damp. Like, put my finger in here, it's like super damp. So no watering issues, no fertilizing issues, and the sun does get all the way down to the bottom. Even if I go over this way, you can see that it's still getting sun. I'm blocking the sun a little bit, but as you can see there, it's getting sun. There we go. I'm not blocking it. It's getting sun on both sides all day, all the way to the bottom. So could be that the seed plant itself could be bad. Who knows? But some on the bottom are doing okay, some are not. But not gonna complain. Look at the growth. Okay. These green stalks again are also doing really well. This Chervil, man, such a beautiful plant. And so I don't normally use Chervil. I just like the way it looks as it grows. But I recently did try it in a dish and I loved it. Never had it before. I just like the way it looks. So I usually just grow it as a greenery or as a plant, but it is an herb and it is really good. Same thing with the crimson tide mustard. I like that. So that's more of it's a mustard green, but I grow it for the look but I also like it in a salad. That's really it. I don't use it for much else. So if it starts to flower, it flowers, and I leave it because, again, it just attracts pollinators. But once it's done, I do not pull it. I'm just going to use it for the yellow flower that it produces. Okay, my beans over here are doing okay. This is the one that was over on the side by the greenhouse. So everything is doing okay over here. We'll come back out today and give this a good fertilizing. But other than that, it's okay. So I have been pulling some of my arugula leaves to put in the salad, trying to let it go to seed. So these are where the seed pockets will be when it does go to seed. It's forming the seed pockets to produce more seeds. So that I'm trying to let it get to that point. But other than that, nothing more I'm going to do with it. The spinach here, this is that Corinthia spinach. I'm just letting it do its thing. As you can see, it's like hanging. So, hey, I don't know. I tasted it. It tastes pretty good, but I just don't like the way it grows. So I'm trying not to discredit the plant and trying not to, the variety rather, and trying not to not love it, but I really don't. But I don't think I want to grow it again. So that's that. Nothing is on this bottom here. I do have some plants that I am transplanting just slowly. Getting here, probably put a few bush beans down here. Just a little couple variety of different things. Same thing over here. Everything over here is doing well. I did have an attack, as you can see, of but here's another one right here in my face. Look at that, guys. I came out here yesterday and pulled one, and there's another one. So this one I missed. Look at that. Really good and juicy. So, you know, the butterfly moth, or the cabbage moth, why did I call them the butterfly moth, was out laying his eggs. I did get a chance to knock many of them off, but this one I fairly missed, but he didn't do too much damage, but enough where it's noticeable. So we're going to go ahead and get him put off somewhere else so he can do what he does. But other than that, I have been coming out here yesterday all day, pretty much just checking everything. And that's funny. This Corinthia spinach and this Corinthia spinach was planted at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. But we're going to let it do its thing with the kale. Let's get into this kale. This kale is beautiful. So the Mizuna. I like the Mizuna the same way as I like the Crimson Tide. I only eat it in the salad. I can see right here it's starting to flower. So I'm going to let it. I'm going to let it. And again, once we're done eating this plant, we're just going to, because we, again, constantly put this in the salad. I grow it so much because I really do love it in the salad. But once it's done, I'm going to let it flower and attract the pollinators. So that's that. This broccoli here, I've been coming out here multiple times trying to pull off the eggs here. Some of which, I see some right here. So I'm going to go ahead and see those. Let's go ahead and knock those off. They come out here every day and lay eggs. So every day I've been out here just doing this because that's all. I'm not going to cover it. I don't want to put the netting on because I have to come out here and harvest and just do different things by myself, and I don't want to have to constantly remove netting. But I'm just going to keep checking. Just going to keep checking. That's most I'm going to do about it and move on. And if one happens to bite something, then we'll pick it off. Like I said, I don't too much do anything for the cabbage moth other than just pull them off. But as you can see, everything is doing well. Endive is doing well. Something's over here. So let me just check this bigger leaf right here. I do see something's over here that I'm starting to see some holes. So it's a baby one that didn't hatch somewhere. And we're going to either try to find it or wait until it gets a little bit more noticeable and find it. But look at it, guys. So the bottom tiers on this one will also be some more leafy greens. They're still in the seed room. I'm going to bring those out. This one will be all peppers. That one is all leeks. And then we'll go over to the other side. Let me get this one before he finds his way back somewhere. I just temporarily sat him there. We're going to move him. All right, so I'm going to put him over here before he starts to do some things. So yeah, so I see some bites over here too. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just standing back so you guys can see how that one is doing. So from this side, you can kind of see now the straight road that everything is in. This here will also have a few leafy greens in them. It gets really hot, and so that sun is going to start beaming down really good on this one. So I'm probably definitely going to put some nasturtiums, just some little plants here. My nasturtiums are sitting here waiting for me to pot them. So I'm going to pot those, put a few marigolds. Just more of a hodgepodge like the pink and the lemon is. We're going to make that a hodgepodge of things. And then over here, more leafy greens. I'm thinking about putting maybe a like a patio like type of tomato over here, like a Bing or so. I might end up putting that in here to see how well that does. But right now we have the cabbages and the broccoli still in here. So right here, something again is eating something over here. If this is the one I poured off yesterday, then we probably good. But I did pour one off of here. So I don't see anything, so we might have gotten them. Just making sure that it's not hiding, but you would definitely see it. It's not many leaves, and I pulled two babies off of here yesterday. So yeah, that's still the same one. And then this Premier Kale is looking really good. I'm mainly checking for aphids. That's the main thing I check for when I come over to these, is the aphids are really horrendous. This is their weather. They love it they love this type of weather, so you got to constantly check for aphids. So far, so good. All right. And it is a little close to this pole right here. I'm also thinking about, well, I moved this one back. I'm thinking about moving this one a little bit forward to get away from that pole so it can just spin. And then the herb one is looking fabulous. So this is a little cilantro on both areas. Parsley, this is parsley. Cilantro's up here, cilantro's down there. Some thyme, dill, some tarragon is in here now. Up here, some fennel. The fennel is up here. Onions up here at the top. Oregano. Where's the tarragon? Some tarragon in here somewhere. I gotta figure it out. And I got 2 empty pockets I'm gonna put basil in. 2 or 3, I gotta find it. Oh yes, down there. So 2 or 3 empty pockets. Then I'm gonna add my basil to it. It's about that time. So the basil's gonna come out here. Just added the tarragon out of the seed room. This sage here. So this one is looking beautiful. I had a hard time getting my rosemary to come back up. So what I'm gonna do for my rosemary is most likely not keep the rosemary in here. When it starts to get cold, I'm gonna plant it back into the greenhouse, because rosemary takes so long to grow that it's giving me a hard time. So that I'm not gonna leave out here. That and the oregano does just fine out here. The thyme is a little, but I think because I cover these up because I don't want the snow to damage everything, I might either take this entire green stalk and get the wheels and either pull this entire thing into the greenhouse, or the newer greenhouse when it comes, or we're going to think of something different, because I did not like to have to do all of that work for this one here. And then over here, so a lot of these plants, as I stated before, that when the weather starts to warm up, they're going to get transplanted either to where I have the shade cloth growing, the shade cloth pot over there, planter over there, or they're going to go in the greenhouse so I can all of this eventually be just herbs. So the mint will stay here, of course, but everything that's not an herb, whether it's annual or perennial, will be moved to a different location. But so far, so good. And these are those mustard greens that overwintered. They're starting to go to seed, which is the main thing I'm trying to get it to do, because I don't have any more seeds. So I've never saved these seeds. I got these originally from Baker's Creek, and I'm hoping that I can get the seeds, because I have a plant that I'm harvesting for food, but not one for seeds. So hopefully I can get those seeds. It's starting to flower, and it's going to do those little seed pockets kind of. I'll have to show it to you if it does it, but it should get those little seed pockets, and I'll let it dry out, and hopefully I'll get some seeds. But everything else, so I came out here and pulled caterpillars off of here too, but so far so good. That's catnip, that's in there, and some more mint, and that sage. That sage is going to probably be moved to the front, my front herb patch that I rarely show. I might get, once I finish fixing that area up, I'll probably show you how it is now. But it's, some things are starting to come back, and it's more perennial flowers, not just herbs. Okay, this area here I'm in is under construction, as you see. So what was here was my bok choy that I pulled. A friend of mine came by and got some bok choy from there, and what was there was some wasabi mustard, so she came and got both of those, so she can have for dinner. And in this place I'm going to probably put some carrots there for sure, and I'm thinking about putting either some beets or radishes here, not sure. And then my Mizuna, that's going to come up as well, because that one she likes as well. She's going to come by and get that later this week. That one was planted specifically for her. She loves it. So that and that other bok choy, she's going to come and get at the same time. And then in that one, I'll plant something different. So ideally I would probably want some beets, carrots, and radishes, and the beans will stay there, those bush beans. And then in that place we'll probably transplant another one of those cabbages here, because that back row will remain cabbages, broccoli, some of the such. And then of course you got the Swiss chard and the kale there. And then there's 3 cabbages. There's a cabbage right next to this bok choy, so that's the cabbage there. So it's Premier, kale, cabbage, bok choy, Swiss chard. And then back there is 2 of the Savoy Perfection cabbages with that broccoli. That head is ready, so I'm going to cut that today. And then another, that's a cauliflower right there. So I did do a broccoli harvest, a full broccoli harvest. This one I did not get because we had enough. I did that for Mother's Day, so if you didn't check that video out, go ahead and check it out. But I definitely am going to harvest the rest of that broccoli that's ready now, so that we can have that. And then walking over, so I did do a couple changes this way as I make my way into the main garden. So I want to talk about soil real quick while I'm on my mind. So what I do is I'll buy any type of soil. I always hear people ask, especially some of the Facebook gardening groups that I'm in, they'll say, hey, what's the best type of soil to get? Or, soil is expensive. Like, how do you guys stretch, especially when you're filling up raised beds and things of that nature. I will buy any potting soil, potting mix, potting soil, raised, whatever. And then I amend it with my mushroom compost. I'll even amend it with a little bit of peat or some coconut coir, and then of course add nutrients and different things so that we make it stretch and make it work, because soil is expensive. So I don't let anybody try to make me feel a certain type of way or make anyone else feel a certain type of way about the soil they choose. Yes, it's definitely a major part of the gardening experience to make sure you have good quality soil, but you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. So I'm going to use whatever's on sale. And Home Depot had these bags on sale for $8 a piece, and I bought a lot of it. So, and I'll use whatever's on sale and make it work. So with that being said, I'm using this brand right now. I'm not going to sponsor anybody as far as what's better in the garden or sell a particular brand. That's not my thing. Okay, so getting over to here to this area. So right here, there was nothing here. So what led to this? It wasn't to match this at all. This was definitely for multiple reasons. I decided to plant right here to have insulation in the greenhouse, make use of this space, and of course to keep block barriers for pests to enter easily. Okay, but over here, I felt like I had to. So let me explain. So right here, I added these 3 little garden. These 3 bags on this side, 3 bags on that side. And I left these so you can see what I mean. So in here were my cucumbers. Weather's perfect. It has nothing to do with the weather. It has everything to do with, this gets full sun. This entire garden gets full sun all day, every day. And it was baking them. So I'm like, oh God, last year it did great, but I cannot rely on that this year. So I removed the cucumbers from here, removed my bush beans from here because they were getting beat up by the sun really, really bad. So I decided to move them, and I needed a place that was kind of partial sun, partial shade, and this is that area. Because I don't want grow bags on my, over there by my green stalks. I don't want to put them along the fence line right there because we're doing work and doing different things over there. And there will be some cucumbers over there once he's done with this coop. And while I'm talking about the coop, let's look at it. So I don't know, I was gonna get into it, but look at it. It's coming along quite nicely. As I go out into the, so look at the little orchard that I'm building, we'll go more into that. But I said, okay, this is not going to work. Beating up my, look at my plants. It was getting scorched. So this area gets perfect shade and sun, which cucumbers love. People tend to think that peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers love the blasting heat all the time. They do not. So I decided to do something about it temporarily and permanently for some areas. So over there, it gets a lot of full sun in the summer too, but I'm building the shade area over there for the shade coverings. Over here is just naturally shaded. But over here, I'm not gonna shade this arch. Like, that's not the plan. So I'll just grow the plants that want this area, which would be my Malabar spinach, my squash, my vining squash, some butterfly peas. Pole beans don't even like the heat too much. So we'll figure, you know, this area will be reconfigured for those plants. So I am finishing up that space there. This one was finished up here, and I transplanted those plants over here to get them out of the scorching sun. And even though it's just May, imagine what it's gonna do to them in July, August, June. I mean, it's just brutal. And out here in Chicago with the weather, you know, you have extremes, and it was extreme. So you can see that they were scorched. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what's gonna grow here. So in here is just gonna be the bush beans in the front and the cucumbers on these little trellises. And that's what I'm gonna finish up in this area, and that's what this will remain. And in the spring, I'll probably just do more flowers here until it's time to plant my summer crops. So that's kind of what's happening here in this area. And needless to say, look at this calendula. Look at it. So I am going to come out here and do a calendula harvest and go from there. The violas are still looking beautiful. The snapdragons are looking beautiful. So no complaints over here at all. But as I walk through here, the sugar snaps are flourishing. So all of these here have the sugar snaps. As I turn this way, all of these have the sugar snaps, and they are flourishing. So for whatever reason, this area is part shaded due to the greenhouse and due to the coop and the fencing. But this area gets full sun, and that's why these pole beans that are here are gonna be moved. And look at the beat. Look how bad it beat them up over here. So don't know if I can save them, but if you know me, all of these varieties I have planted like 6 of each. So I am not worried about losing a plant. They'll just be compost. But this is why I put stuff out in certain times of the year, so I can see for myself what needs to change so that I can have a full and bountiful harvest when it's time to harvest in the spring, summer, and fall. So certain things that are out as tests. Working my way through here. Blueberries are fine. I am going to go back here and do a test my soil to make sure to see the acidic levels of the soil. But so far, it's the last time I tested it was pretty good. Cabbages are good. These did not come through. So guess what? I do have replacement plants for them. And these are the bane of my existence right now, because they do not ever work right for me. So that's why I'm constantly doing soil tests. So whatever. We're just going to replace them and keep it moving. But the cabbages, look at those. I mean, so extremely hardy. Love it. These cabbages are doing well. These blueberries, I gotta see that. So the soil levels on here need to be adjusted, but it's okay. Getting that together. Cabbages are fine. More blueberries. Cabbages are heading up there. Raspberries are doing great. Look at all the raspberries trying to come in. Just look at them. They're everywhere. All the raspberries. Everywhere you look. Blackberries, same thing. They're all starting to come in as well. So, loving it. All of the brassicas are doing really well here. So I pulled a Mitchell Healy, well, my daughter on Mother's Day pulled a Mitchell Healy cabbage here, and I haven't amended the soil just yet to replant. So that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna go ahead and get that replanted, or transplanted. Probably I took one from over here earlier so I could put it in here. So I'm probably gonna pull one from over there, where the herbs are gonna go in the herb pots over there by the green stalks, and transplant them over here and get that going. But so far, that's what it's looking like over here. This right here would be corn. As I'm making my way over there, you'll see I've already started planting some of that. This here is my strawberry spinach that I've been happy to see. They're still thriving. The little balls are now up out here. And if you've not tried it, I threw it in the salad. It was great. Great, great, great. The Chris Mint lettuce is doing really well. This iceberg and Chris Mint lettuce patch is doing really well. So these are about ready to harvest. The little ones over here are not. So once I move these will get that full sun. Started putting corn in here. I'm thinking about doing 8 per 30-gallon grow bag of the sweet corn. This here is this variety here. The sweet, I don't know if you can see that, sweet bicolor. Oh Lord, you can't see it. Sweet bicolor. So I grew this last year and grew this last year. So these are the ones that are ready so far for my seed room. The other ones for this one are not quite ready yet. So we're gonna do, eventually all of these bags are gonna be corn. And then the potatoes are poking through nicely. I'm not gonna refill these bags. So when they start poking through and growing, then they will start making the tubers beneath. So they are doing great. So again, potatoes, that will be corn. Now these bags won't stay there. They're gonna go along this fence line. As you can see, I've expanded the garden going back towards that pole. I just have to get out here, rake all of those, the wood chips over to this area so that we can cut this area down, lay the weed barrier down, then remulch, and then move the pot. So that's coming just slowly but surely, because that is going to be a little bit of work to do so. So I have to wait till my husband is ready to get out here and help. Let's get into this area here. So all of these are going to be coming up within the next couple of days. Everything right here. So all of the choy soy areas you can see now has been slowly but surely harvested. And all of the tomatoes have been taking place. So there is 4 rows of 7. It was going to be originally just 21 different varieties, or 20 different varieties of tomatoes, but I changed my mind and I decided to make all of these tomatoes, but the ones on the ends would be the determinate ones, like some Romas, just different ones. I don't feel like naming them all right now. Trying to keep this video under an hour. Was trying to keep it under 30 minutes. That's not working, so we're gonna try to shoot for under 45 minutes. But with that being stated, so these here will all eventually come out. So I did pour one there. I pulled this one. We just planted it and pulled that one in the front. So everything that you see here that is not a tomato will be pulled. The Mizuna, everything. And we're going to put everything, make all of these tomatoes. So the original ones that were out, which is my test crop, let's see what they're looking like, which was everything here. So these are doing okay. Those are doing fine. Okay? And all of these are doing fine. These are taking a little bit of a hit. And I don't know if it's due to the direct sun, shift of weather, who knows. But I have 2 more of each of these plants, so that they're still in the seed room, and they're going to come out here and be planted, whether these make it or not. If these make it, then they'll be planted somewhere else. If not, they'll be switched around to take those out and pull them out. So we'll see. All right, and it's going to be a marigold in each of these, and probably some basil in some of these as well. I'm not going to do a full, each bag is going to have basil, but each bag will have some marigolds. I'm not sure if I'm going to do each bag with basil. Probably, a couple in each row. I could propagate them and do that, but sounds like more work. So that might be a good hard no on all of these having basil. But just wanted to give you an update on this area here. These will be all transplanted out within this week, hopefully, or maybe next week. Just see how fast we can harvest and cook and eat and do all of that. And then everything over here is gonna sow. This will always have some type of brassica in it throughout the summer. I want to see how much I can get them from bolting, to keep them from bolting, even if I have to have more shade cloth. And it looks like here there is some broccoli ready, so we're going to go ahead and take that. I'm trying to get it where you don't see the little netting over it. So that broccoli is ready in here along with the other broccoli over there, so I'll go and grab that today as well. Under here, growing perfectly. Raise that up so you can see. So these heads of lettuce look like they're heading quite nicely. So it's almost time for me to go ahead and pull those. Well, at least this one, because that one is a really nice firm head. The other ones are kind of small, so I'm trying to let them finish heading up. And before I pull everything out, some of these are getting a little scorched by the sun. So I might do a makeshift cover shade cloth on this one. Out of these, I have some left, so I might end up doing that. And then these here, this one is completely filled now, so I am going to start planting in this. So I have to resort back to my plan, my garden plan, to see what I'm going to plant in here, because I forgot. But I planned everything else. So I don't know what I'm planting in this one off the top of my head. And over here, cabbages are doing really well. Some more broccoli is springing up. So even though all this broccoli was started at the same time, the fact that they're growing at different times is great for me, because then that way I can get different broccoli at different times of the growing season. So not going to complain about that. But everything, it's almost time for another greens harvest, which I'm probably going to wait until they get a little bit more bigger, because I just want to probably do one more. I was trying to keep them in here. Okay, the train wants me to stop talking. Okay. Sorry about that. There we go again. But, okay. So, I'm probably going to just make that one harvest in itself. And once that one harvest is done, I'll remove everything from here and plant whatever I'm going to plant in the summer here. Again, resorting to my summer guide to see what I have set up for here. And then same thing in this area here. I do know that these will be varieties of bush beans, where there's going to be some dragon tongue, some contender, some cranberries, something. It's going to be a bush bean variety here, along with the bush beans that are right there. So that I'm certain of. And then the pinto beans are going to be planted behind each of these plants, so that they can kind of grow through these bags here and through some of those bags there, because they love the heat. So pinto beans can handle this heat versus the Kentucky Wonders and different things of that nature. They don't really like extreme sun, but pinto beans do. So, and the trellising kind will. And of course, watermelon and melons of the cantaloupes and different things will be planted in these bags to trellis up. But so that's what this area is looking like. There's some nasturtiums over there that are doing well. They took a hit when we got cold, but they are bouncing back. Let me just show them to you. So they are coming back with the vengeance. This cabbage over here is looking good. This bok choy is going to get pulled. Both of these are going to get pulled. And I've been harvesting from this Chinese broccoli for the past couple weeks now. It's still going, and I'm going to let it. I don't know if you can see all the parts that, you can see from all the places I pulled it. And it's prolific, and I love it. I'm here for it. So I'm going to keep that. I'm definitely going to keep growing that variety. In the back there is my kohlrabi. It hasn't bulbed up yet. And then some purple cauliflower. That purple cauliflower down there is the slowest growing one. And this was all started in January with everything else. So, yeah. That one's definitely going to be there for a while. The Brussels are going to be here for a while. Those were started 3 weeks after each other. So that one and that one, those two together were started 2 weeks apart. But it's still a matter of adequate sun, growing conditions, seed variety, everything. So it should have ideally been about that, a little bit bigger than it is, but it'll stay there until it's ready, because nothing is going in those. Whenever I plant Brussels, that's the only thing. Those Brussels will stay there from January to December when it's time to harvest. So I'll give them a year. Okay, so that's really over here where I took that Mr. Healy cabbage from. We transplanted that one there, and it's adapted quite nicely. I did get in here and kind of just pull some weeds and do different things. So loving the progress in here. Probably will pull some kale soon, make a kale soup. I know it's gonna be warm, but I still love kale soup. All right, so that's this area here. So I'm definitely gonna fix these beans up and move them to a more partly sun, partly shaded area. Oh, before I forget, so these nasturtiums took a real bad hit, as you can see, but new growth is coming and replacing the damaged ones, and then I'll pull them off after that point. And I'm still working on the pond, still working on trying to get the other side to look like this. I'm sorry, somebody was out here and they got this hose around my marigold. I think it's gonna break, so let me move that. Okay. So I am going to try to get the other side to look like this side at some point. And if I can, I will. If I can't, then whatever pops up over there is how it's gonna look. Because I don't know. We're gonna see. But the pond is flourishing. Now in here, I'm gonna see if I see any, and that will determine how I explain this video. But if I don't see them, I have to wait until I can. But I don't see them at this very moment. So the kids went fishing and they caught some fish, and they just said, they didn't want to cook them right away and, gut them and do all of that right away. So they came and put them in this pond. This was last night. So I was hoping that when I came out this morning, I would see if I see them, but I do not. So we'll see. I'll stop the filter and everything just to see if I see them swimming around, but I don't. I was gonna point them out to you, but I don't see them. So we're just gonna keep moving. But let's talk about the growth of the alyssums and the marigolds. Look how pretty they are. Yep, so everybody over here is doing okay. They would probably do better if they keep the cords off of them so that they don't kill them, but they are doing okay. But yeah, so they're doing fine. Okay, as I make my way over here, it's almost time for me to fill this up with water for my drip irrigation over here. Okay, so cabbages, broccolis are doing okay. That one's been struggling for a while, but I see it's finally getting bigger. But I'm not gonna complain. Still doing okay. This burgundy broccoli over here is starting to pop up. Look how beautiful that looks. So the table, everything on this table will eventually be peppers. So it needs to hurry up or it's gonna go get put somewhere else in the garden. All of the arugula is gonna come out today. And that will be something else. I got a couple peppers I'm gonna put out here. So the arugula, I was trying to let some of the seed pods form. I was trying to see if I see any to show you better. Because I need the seed pods. Oh, here we go. So that right there is going to be a seed pod. Let me touch it. That right there. So that's going to be a little seed pod. None of them are fat enough for me to kind of show you, but I'm trying to let them get to that point so that once they start to develop seeds in them, then I'll pull them. But everything on this table at some point will be a pepper. And then over in here, all of the broccolis, all of the cabbages, things are doing well. None of my cauliflower has headed up yet. This is why I start those seeds in January, because they take a long time. I do not expect cauliflower until sometime in June or July when the heat is scorching, but at that point it will be ready. I'll close them off so that the head is not scorched or damaged, and it will be fine. So everything over here is coming along just fine. Broccoli is now starting to pop up over here. So I have no complaints. Before I get over there, the lettuce, look at that. I did pull another little head of lettuce from here, but Can you hear that? Yep, so all of the lettuces are doing great. And again, all of the lettuces over here, that head is, oh yeah, that head is definitely ready. So all of these will eventually come out and sweet potatoes will be planted in here. Okay. Now, looking over here at this area, so all of my potatoes are doing great. I don't know if you can see some of them pop, the purple ones over there popping up. So I am loving everything about this over here. They're doing better than I expected, so I'm thoroughly pleased. I'm gonna give these another good deep watering, but they're doing really well. That aster is coming up quite nicely. The hyssop is coming up quite nicely. The elecampane transplant is doing well. The yarrow is doing well. What's in here? This is echinacea. So these were purchased. I did not have good germination with my echinacea, so we just went on ahead and bought some from one of my favorite nurseries. So that echinacea is doing fine. I'm going to eventually separate them a little bit, but they're all in one pot getting healthy. This will be some bee balm that I'm going to plant in today. And then not sure what's going on with my mullein in there. So once I get that ready, I'm going to transplant it there. And then my another elecampane, my yarrow. This is supposed to be lavender. We'll see. And then self-heal. If not, again, I'm going to pull that out because I have plenty of lavender and transplant another different plant in there and so forth. I did buy my planters, some more of these square planters that's going to go here and there and possibly here. I have just not put them out here yet. Getting to it. It's been a lot going on since Mother's Day and different things going on. My daughter's birthday, so I'm working on it, guys. I am working on it. So hopefully by next video, this will be all planted out, and then we're just watching for growth. But great improvement so far. I try not to get discouraged that I'm not done with things, because all of this that you see here was just done this year. So a little bit by little bit, it goes a long way. Okay, grapes are coming along. They're definitely coming along. I can't get all the way back there because these two huge shipments here are my greenhouses. So, well, greenhouse. So this was the second package was just delivered. So it is doing amazing. As far as the assemble is coming, I can't show you a lot of this is part of it, but the assemble is going great. So he's trying to do multiple projects at once, but he's finishing up the coop now, but he's doing some of the pieces inside so that he can transplant them outside. And I can't wait till that project to give you a full update on that project. But those are the grapes. I would go all the way back there, but it's just too tight to get back there to show you all the other newly planted grapes. So I will go back here and show you the trees. I do have another tree coming. I'm not sure when it will get here. They haven't updated it, but as I'm passing it, let me explain now a little bit more about this coop. So that first little structure that you saw there, that is the coop itself right there. And the rest of this is all run. So that area right there can house up to 10 chickens. I'm not doing any more than that. And then over here, all of this is going to be run with a roof that he's going to put a few little solar panels on. Okay, and all of this will have hardware cloth. We're going to dig out a little bit and, of course, put the hardware cloth over. We have to move it over so we can do so. But it's coming along quite nicely. I wanted it all built out of lumber instead of attaching the original run. I just wanted that cohesive look, so that's why we changed it up. And I am pleased. I'm pleased. But it's coming along. And then it is going out of control back here. But it's been constant rain. What can you say? Okay. And lastly, we'll end with these. And they are coming along great. So the peach tree here, which was put in the ground last year, Look at the little buds. Yep, so those are coming along quite nicely. I said end, and I didn't even go in the greenhouse. Let me hurry up because we got to go in the greenhouse. So that is coming along quite nicely. And then the apple trees here are coming along quite nicely. And this was planted again this year. And again, I did do that planting video of this one. I didn't do the planting video of that one, but we did do the planting video for this one. So check it out if you have time and want to see this beautiful baby get put in the ground. Okay, and then I'll just hop over to the greenhouse. And before I go into the greenhouse, we added this reflective tarp up here to kind of pull some of that heat out of the greenhouse so that it's during the summer months, it's not going to be excruciatingly hot in here to help those solar panel ventilation fans do its job. And so finally, as we make our way here and in this video here, and again, that's my rhubarb and kohlrabi there still flourishing. In here, oh God, it feels amazing. It feels amazing in here. So this Swiss chard will be coming out and a new one will be put in this place. I'm going to pull all the leaves from that. This has been here since the winter and it's done this job and I commend it. Speaking of, so this is where I pulled the arugula that was in here, and these are the seed pockets. So that's what I mean when I say seed pockets. So I'm letting them dry out in here. See that? That's a seed pocket right there. So letting them die off and dry out so we can get those. But everything in here is doing well. More corn in here that I have to plant, took out of my seed room. This is some bee balm, some zinnias, marigolds, tomatoes. Look at the tomatoes. The ones in the greenhouse, look at them. Amazing. Cabbage over here. So I did have the caterpillar doing a little devastation in here, as you can see, but I had to come in here and get him because it was losing his mind up in here. He thought he had a buffet. And sometimes they come in, see, there's another one that did not, I got to put him off, but it's dead because I had to go ahead and pull a bunch of them off because when the windows were open, sometimes they fly in here and lay their eggs. But so far, peppers and lavender and the such is doing really well. So everything, strawberries, my husband came and took his little strawberries that were up there. Yeah, peppers up here. There's some peppers up here that are coming in. I plant the same peppers in there. So yeah, everything in here. Seed plant there, seed plant here, seed plant there. So certain things are seed plants. Some things in here, alfalfa. Look at the alfalfa, doing really, really well. So I am just going to let everything in here, with the exception of the peppers and the tomatoes and the root and the eggplant, those are going to go out, but everything else is in here, stays in here. It is a couple cucumbers in here that it's not ready to transplant yet, and some squash that's going to go out there. But some cucumbers are going to stay in here. They have strictly just female flowers, and they do not need the male flowers at all to pollinate. So doing okay. Look at my kohlrabi. It's getting there. It's getting there, guys. It had a little aphid issue at first, but as you can see, the aphids are now gone. So it's back to living its life. So we had to treat it. See the curling of the leaves? It had an aphid issue, but it does not anymore. And this one is a seed plant that I'm trying to let go to seed, but I don't need all of this to go to seed. So some of this I will harvest, and the rest of it I will let go to seed. But that's that. Got a couple peppers back there. Some more. I did harvest some of my rhubarb to make a rhubarb pie. I'll have to show you guys that. Some more spinach down here. So everything's looking pretty good. Some marigolds back there that will stay in here. Some marigolds will stay in here, some will go out. So some calendula there that'll stay in here. So just different things that will stay and some that will go. But again, the temperature in here is right now 65 degrees. Beautiful head of lettuce. It's about time for it to come out now. And I'll just put another one in this place. Looking at these growing in my soil. So Oh well. But yeah, no complaints. No complaints. I'm gonna get in here and just double check and make sure I've gotten all of the caterpillars out of here. This is my purple kohlrabi over here, because if I don't, they will eat it up. I did pull quite a few off of here yesterday, and I feel like I didn't get everybody because I'm starting to see something over here, but I think maybe I did. But I'm gonna get in here and treat everything, check for aphids, you know, on my kale and different things. So I just want to check everybody and make sure everybody's healthy. But that's it. Thank you for staying to the end if you did. Go ahead, guys, and get out there. It's May. This is definitely the time for everybody to have stuff out there in the ground, in pots, grow bags, raised beds, greenhouses, front porch, apartment, patio, wherever. Just get some plants in the ground, guys. All right. Happy growing.